From translation, ISV International Standard Version, this 142 day of the year, today we are reading passages Ezra 4-7, Ezra chapter 4, verses 1 to 24. When the enemies of Judah and Benjamin heard that the exiles were building a temple for the Lord God of Israel, they approached Zerubbabel and the heads of families and said to them, "Let us help you build, because like you, we seek your God and have been sacrificing to him since the time of Esarhaddon, king of Assyria, who brought us here." But Zerubbabel, Jeshua, and the other heads of families of Israel said to them, "You have nothing to do with us in building a temple to our God. We alone will build it for the Lord God of Israel, as King Cyrus of Persia has commanded us." Then the people of the land tried to discourage the people of Judah and make them afraid to build. They hired counselors against them to frustrate their plans during the entire reign of Cyrus, king of Persia, and even until the reign of Darius, king of Persia. In the reign of Ahasuerus, in the beginning of his reign, they wrote accusations against the inhabitants of Judah and Jerusalem. In the days of Artaxerxes, Bishlam, Mithridath, Tabeel, and the rest of their colleagues wrote to Artaxerxes, king of Persia. The letter was written in Aramaic and translated. Rehum the commander and Shimshai, the scribe, wrote a letter against Jerusalem to Artaxerxes, king of Persia. Then in the letter written in Aramaic, they declared to Artaxerxes, king of Persia, to King Artaxerxes, "Your servants, Rehum the commander and Shimshai the scribe, and the rest of their colleagues, the judges, the governors, the officials, the Persians, the men from Erech, the Babylonians, the men from Susa, the Dehavites, the Elamites, and the rest of the nations, whom the great and honorable Osnapper deported and settled in the cities of Samaria and elsewhere, in the region beyond the Euphrates River." This is a copy of the letter that they sent to him. "To King Artaxerxes, your servants, be it known to the king that the Jews who came up from you have come to us at Jerusalem. They are rebuilding that rebellious and wicked city. They are finishing its walls and repairing its foundations. Now be it known to the king that if this city is rebuilt and its walls are finished, they will not pay tribute, tax, or toll, and the royal revenue will suffer." When the copy of King Artaxerxes' letter was read before Rehum and Shimshai the scribe and their colleagues, they went in haste to the Jews at Jerusalem and forced them by force of arms to stop. Thus the work on the house of God in Jerusalem stopped until the 2nd year of the reign of Darius, king of Persia. Ezra chapter 5, verses 1-7. Now the prophets Haggai and Zechariah, son of Iddo, prophesied to the Jews in Judah and Jerusalem in the name of the God of Israel who was over them. Then Zerubbabel son of Shealtiel and Jeshua son of Jozadak began to work on the house of God in Jerusalem, and the prophets of God were with them, supporting them. At that time Tattenai, the governor of the region beyond the Euphrates River, Shethar-boznai, and their colleagues went to them and said to them, "Who gave you the authorization to build this house and to finish these walls?" We also asked them their names, so that we could write down the names of the men who were their leaders. But the eye of their God was on the elders of the Jews, so that they could not stop them until the matter came before Darius and he issued a reply. This is a copy of the letter that Tattenai, the governor of the region beyond the Euphrates River, Shethar-boznai, and his colleagues the officials, the Persians who were beyond the Euphrates River, sent to King Darius. The letter they sent to him contained these words: "To King Darius, peace." Ezra chapter 6, verses 1-22. Then King Darius issued an order, and a search was made in the archives where the treasures were stored in Babylon. A scroll was found in the fortress of Ecbatana in the province of Media, and this was written on it, a record. "Now therefore, Tattenai, governor of the region beyond the Euphrates River, Shethar-boznai, and your colleagues, the officials of the region beyond the Euphrates River, keep away from there. Do not interfere with the work of this house of God. Let the Jewish governor and elders of the Jews rebuild this house of God on its site. Moreover, I hereby issue an order concerning what you are to do for these Jewish elders in the rebuilding of this house of God." Then Tattenai, governor of the region beyond the Euphrates River, Shethar-boznai, and his colleagues carried out the order of King Darius with diligence. So the Jewish elders built and prospered through the prophesying of Haggai the prophet and Zechariah, son of Iddo. They built and completed it according to the command of the God of Israel and the decree of Cyrus, Darius, and Artaxerxes, king of Persia. This house was finished on the 3rd day of the month of Adar in the 6th year of the reign of King Darius. The people of Israel, the priests, the Levites, and the rest of the exiles celebrated the dedication of this house of God with joy. They offered for the dedication of this house of God 100 bulls, 200 rams, and 400 lambs, along with 12 male goats for a sin offering for all Israel, according to the number of the tribes of Israel. They appointed the priests according to their divisions, and the Levites according to their groups for the service of God in Jerusalem, as is written in the book of Moses. The exiles kept the Passover on the 14th day of the first month. The priests and the Levites had purified themselves together, and then they purified the people and the gates and the wall. So the Israelites who had returned from exile ate the Passover, along with all those who had separated themselves from the uncleanness of the nations of the land, to seek the Lord God of Israel. They celebrated the festival of unleavened bread for 7 days with joy, because the Lord had made them rejoice by changing the attitude of the king of Assyria, so that he supported them in the work on the house of God, the God of Israel. Ezra chapter 7 verses 1 to 28. After these events, during the reign of Artaxerxes king of Persia, Ezra son of Sariah, son of Azariah, son of Hilkiah, son of Shallum, son of Zadok, son of Ahitub, son of Amariah, son of Azariah, son of Merioth, son of Zerahiah, son of Uzi, son of Buki, son of Abishua, son of Phinehas, son of Eleazar, son of Aaron the chief priest, this Ezra came up from Babylon. He was a scribe skilled in the law of Moses, which the Lord God of Israel had given. The king granted him all that he requested, for the hand of the Lord his God was upon him. Some of the Israelites, including priests, Levites, singers, gatekeepers, and temple servants, went up to Jerusalem in the 7th year of King Artaxerxes. Ezra arrived in Jerusalem in the 5th month of the 7th year of the king. On the 1st day of the 1st month, he had begun his journey from Babylon, and on the 1st day of the 5th month he came to Jerusalem, for the good hand of his God was upon him. For Ezra had set his heart to study the law of the Lord and to practice it, and to teach his statutes and ordinances in Israel. This is a copy of the letter King Artaxerxes gave to Ezra the priest and scribe, a scribe of the words of the commandments of the Lord and his statutes to Israel. Artaxerxes, king of kings, to Ezra the priest, a scribe of the law of the God of heaven. Peace and so forth. Blessed be the Lord, the God of our ancestors, who has put such a thing as this in the king's heart, to beautify the house of the Lord in Jerusalem, and who has extended loving kindness to me before the king, his counselors, and all his powerful officials. I was strengthened by the hand of the Lord my God, which was upon me, and I gathered the leaders of Israel together to go up with me.